What's up, community? I'm Xavier Garcia, and this is the Ultimate Psychology channel. Today I had the great fortune of running into the great John Assaraf. He's a motivational speaker, mostly known for his work on the movie The Secret and the Law of Attraction. He's also done, he's famous for his Brainathon, and also his new book is called Inner Size. It's about developing the mind in the inner game. So anyways, by chance or by coincidence, by fate, divine appointment, him and I ran into each other and we struck up a conversation. And he gave me tidbits of advice and information, and we swapped a little bit of stories. And one thing that came off as an offshoot that sparked the point of this this video on developing the winning inner dialogue is that there comes a point, we're talking about motivation and how motivation seems to just be, just to vanish sometimes. It's very common in the beginning stages of setting a new goal or of having a new big idea, but it seems to vanish. And like, where does that everlasting motivation, that everlasting drive come from? And I know for me, there was different parts of my journey of becoming myself. And where now that I feel I have an eternal drive that just keeps me motivated at all times. I've reached a level of maturity, and I can't really pinpoint it on one particular event, but it did happen, like the last most significant event, which was a few years ago, in 2014, when my father passed away, and it was like kind of like I'm the man of the family now, and there's no one above me, and he was my best friend, he was my best man, and so I knew from that moment that a change had to take place. And so to find a winning inner dialogue, and if you develop this within yourself, it's a hard thing to discover because it's usually discovered in the most challenging time or event or season of your life. And if you're going through life and you seem to be engulfed and you're in that season, that losing season, a season of losing, sometimes you feel like there is no way out and there's never going to be out and there's no hope, that all is lost. And the price of success is too high. But if you can somehow just say, no, I can't take this, or never again, I can make it, I can get through, or how can I get out of this? How can I make my life better? How can I improve my life more? With a question like that, or a affirmation like that, that's what's really going to compel you to break loose and break through to your new destiny. Okay? And so I'm sorry to say, I hate to say that it has to come from something so challenging, but it does. And so if you are there, and if you are in some place, have some hope that there's going to be light on the other side of the tunnel. And also, it's like developing and training yourself. And once you really, you realize, I can do it. I can do this. I got what it takes. And then that's when you start putting words to situations. And you say, like, I can do this, I've been here before, or even if I don't know what I'm doing, ready or not, I'm going for it. I'm gonna take it on. Come at me, bro. You can say whatever like that to your challenges. And your challenges are never gonna go away. It's kind of like I preferred reference skipping rope. People are always gonna be skipping rope, and you gotta find your way to jump in. And you might trip and fall a couple of times, and it might be, you might bruise your knee, you might scrape your legs, you could hurt your wrist falling down, people are gonna laugh, make fun of you. The fear of embarrassment and all those things. And so, but when you keep trying, you don't give up, you don't quit, because sometimes life doesn't give you the option to quit. You can't take the easy way out because there's actually something inside of you that doesn't want you to. It wants to develop your character and continue to experience that growth to become the man that you're fully capable of becoming. And so you start getting back on your horse, you start jumping in that rope again, and you start slowly learning the steps and the rhythm and what it takes. And after a while, and it could take a long time, it can take a really long time, but eventually, you begin to master the steps, you begin to master the rhythm, and you pick up the flow. And so once before you used to describe a certain event or circumstance as hopeless or meaningless, and you can't get out of it, and you're just born that way, and that's just the way you're going to stay. Now you can say, it's like, I'm a new creation. Today's a new day. I can make a change. I can make a difference. I'm a new man. I can do it. You start putting these emotions into the experience. And not only do you get to relabel the experience or the meaning of the event or the circumstances, but now you get to call your shots. Now it's not always about being reactive to what that is and what's coming at you or where you're at, what you're in. But now you can speak life, and you can say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to keep my word because I've done this and I've done that and I'm getting through it. And so that's when you start developing like the little engine that could. I think I can. It keeps going over and over and over like a broken record. And sometimes you got to say it in vain, and it feels like you're saying it in vain. You know, they say fake it to make it. I'm not asking you to fake it. I'm asking you to believe it with conviction. And you just keep plowing, and it says, no, you can't. No, you're not. No, you can't. You can't do it. And you always have that voice of criticism because it wants to take over your soul. Okay, but you don't allow it. You don't do it because you have the faith to persevere. Because other people are different. You're a human being. We're all created equal. You have all the resources that you need to develop yourself and the skills to become unstoppable. Okay? So, you know, have faith and trust that whatever circumstances that you're in, you can continue to develop these things and you get better at them. And your life takes on a whole new momentum because you've developed the inner winning dialogue within yourself. And your experiences, you know, on the surface, in some ways they may be similar to people, and other ways they may not be. You might have a unique set of circumstances. Either way, whichever way that things have been coordinated for you to experience life and your different experiences, it's completely unique. Even though on some ways it's the same, on the surface it's the same, but on the inner side it's unique. And you know, because you have different strengths, different abilities, and different weaknesses. But at the end of the day, when you process through that whole circumstance, that world of confusion, and you've made it throughout the other side because you've learned how to reframe and to rename different situations in your life that you can control them and look at them objectively. You develop in yourself you become an interesting person, you know. And so you have all these different people going through different things in their lives and these unique, crazy challenges, but they make it through. And so it doesn't matter when you get to the top and you're on the level of this level of maturity or this level of success, and you see another person who's made it through their success, and it doesn't matter if, you know, whether they're a millionaire or whether they're you know, or not. You know, they could be a skateboarder or a basketball player or anybody who's been successful in their field. They've gone through tremendous stuff to get there, you know, relatively speaking, right? Most things are not handed to people, and if they are handed to them, they still have to be able to maintain it. You know, you might have great parents or great people around you that have built you and supported you, and that's the ideal. You know, we want to work together as a community, uphold and uplift everyone, help everyone become successful. But there is a private side to things that no matter what, nobody can do for you, and it's in there that you get to identify yourself and set yourself apart as different and unique. And that way you have a unique story to share with other people, even though you could have a twin brother or twin sister, and you can become both great people of character on your own as individuals, and still have completely different stories because you've had two different experiences, and it provides for enough of the difference. It's like having a, you know, they say we're not a melting pot, but it's more like a mixed salad. And so, yeah, some of the pieces are different, but they're the same, but it's still interesting that we'll always have to have something different to share. You know, whether if you made it into the Navy SEALs and I made it into the Navy SEALs, for example, you know, your story to get here is different than my story to get here. And they're both unique, they're both interesting, and they might have some parallels, but they're different. So, but basically, back to this development of developing an inner, a winning inner dialogue, is that, you know, you're constantly having thought processes all day. You're having thought patterns all day. You might be grumbling and mumbling to yourself on this and that and these people. Be conscious and be aware of these things, because, you know, before you have a big major breakdown or what your breakthrough, you might not be conscious or aware of these things. And, you know, if you don't take control of your minds or your thoughts, you're just going to be adrift. You know, you're going to be lost at sea. But the moment, the sea is very flowing, and it can be powerful at times and just taking whichever direction, but your thoughts are things and they have a magnetism of their own. Okay, and so if you have these type of thoughts, you're going to start going and producing and creating these experiences for yourself. And you have to be conscious and aware, step back, set yourself apart back from your experiences, your thoughts, and say, are these the things that I want to be thinking? Because if I'm thinking these, I'm creating these things. Sometimes you have to also be non-judgmental towards your thoughts and allow them just to bubble up as they come. But even though those negative thoughts are just coming up and bubbling, you also have a chance to speak life and light every once in a while, every now and then, and you focus on that part. And even though this stuff is still sprouting and keep on going, you keep producing. I can do it. I'm the best. I'm smart. Okay, I'm capable. Okay, I can get through this. I can do it. And eventually, over time, there's going to be a battle between those thoughts that came up and all these positive ones, and it's going to be a war. But eventually, God wins. And if you stay on the right side, you stay on the power of light and strength. You'll eventually reach your success, your personal success, and you have a personal success story, and you can share that with others. You can be profitable from it, but it all starts with developing that that winning inner dialogue that takes you. And so you're still going to have challenges after you've developed this thing, but you'll know how to get through these circumstances and these events because you know how to label them, you know what to do with them, you know how to categorize them, you know how to conquer them and overcome them. And nothing will be able to stop you at that point. You'll have the challenges, they'll be coming on all sides, but it'll be mastery, right? All work will become easy work. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this video informative. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment below. I appreciate it. Until next time, this is Xavier Garcia signing out, and love is freedom. Thank you very much.